Alright, kind of a junk video on the Drake equation. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do this, but what the hell. Anyway, I'm going to change the menuing system on the website. So I'll make menu specific, well, whatever, listings of videos, maybe even other websites. So anyway, the toolbar thing that's on the other side there on the website. That side, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so for each subject, there'll be videos in there specific to that subject, or something like that. Anyway, working on it. And, so I was thinking about the Drake equation, because that was the subject I was supposed to think about. But I started thinking about different implications of other civilizations and how long they would survive. That's sort of a key factor, is when something else is making noise out there for us to detect it. This idea that there'd be a time limit to it. And I sort of made that point before, that we sort of know that there's at least one limitation on technology, in the sense that if other civilizations had survived to become whatever, their singularity, they would still be here. They would kind of break the time barrier and become eternal in a sense. But that also got me to think about the speed of light and this whole idea of time travel. And the fact is that, yeah, that doesn't work out either. I mean, it doesn't work out just because it obviously creates paradoxes of all kinds, but the paradox that you'd be able to hide from the end of the universe would sort of be a paradox. The universe itself, let's say it did collapse or something routinely, expand and collapse. If you were hiding in the past, if you went to the past and were hanging out there, you could essentially hang out there forever. You could take the technology of time travel with you to the past, and then just keep staying in the past, and never let time catch up with you. And obviously that's very paradoxical. If the universe is gone, but see, that's the thing. The past is gone too, with the transition of time. So we sort of know that time travel is really not a possibility. And, therefore we know that breaking the speed barrier, the speed of light, is impossible either, because time travel is not possible. So yeah, it sort of closes that door, and so sort of closes any kind of realistic capacity to communicate across the universe realistically. I mean, it's sort of over. It can't happen. It won't happen. It is impossible. Might be able to say that. So, anyway, it's really cold. Shouldn't be this internal problem, I guess. The camera, yeah, I'm staying sorry. The camera is shaking. Yeah, probably this hand maybe. Yeah, this one's a lot better. It's the stroke hand. It's not too good when I'm cold. Alright, boy, I'm just degrading all over the place. Sort of. In some ways, I'm healthy again. In other ways, I'm just as feeble as I could be. Very strange. Yeah, whatever. That's not on the subject, is it? No, I don't think it is. Alright. Anyway, okay, so where was I? Yeah, so the Drake equation thing, the important things are the whole abiogenesis thing, the idea that life hasn't formed, DNA replicators, blueprint replicators anyway. It's not common chemistry, and the biggest piece of evidence against it is the fact that it doesn't happen here. with all this biomass, with all these parts, life doesn't happen again. And there's no reason it couldn't thrive, even with all these competitors. Just as we know that our system is vulnerable to all kinds of things, because it has no way of anticipating them. And it's like our system can only learn to fight what has existed. It can't fight something it doesn't know exists. You can't fight something new generically. So in most cases, it has to learn to build defenses. That's sort of how evolution works. There has to be a failure, for there to be a success. So, we're back to that again. The negative always comes first. It's the nature of the business we're in. There's a persuasive argument, in my opinion, at least for saying it's, very, very not regular chemistry. It takes a very irregular circumstance to create a DNA replicating cell. And, maybe it's really, really rare. And then on top of that, you got these other barriers of creating, intelligence, and then, some sort of thinking, central nervous system, and then a central nervous system that can do language and communication, and in turn store knowledge outside of itself to become truly intelligent. All big obstacles, blah, 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 blah. And, and, the universe, like I said, the civilizations out there could have billions of years of head start on us, and they aren't leaving a signature in the sky. So if you could even imagine our current aggressive knowledge space in terms of, it has that exponential growth thing, where you just keep getting better and better technology. To think of us existing for 1 million years with this level of growth in our technology, it seems impossible to imagine that we wouldn't be reshaping the solar system and maybe even our quarter of the galaxy. Certainly making enough noise to be heard by anything near us. But that's the thing. The time thing is always going to be the limiting factor. Let's say we did 1 billion years ago, if we were an alternative civilization on some alternative planet, and we reached this stage 1 billion years ago, and we still existed, that means we would have been making noise for 1 billion years. And we should have a window to one of those civilizations, but we don't. So, I'm just saying, it seems obvious that this chemistry thing, this is bizarre. What we're doing here is really, really bizarre. And I might argue that it's not in a good way. But anyway, I think that's enough. Lots of, all you can do is list the arguments against, in terms of recognizing that there are certain implications to the physics. And, that's all that's being really argued here, is, what are the limitations of the physics? What can, it is an awful lot of complexity, and it takes an awful lot of time for crude forces to create that much complexity, to create a system that has all these defenses built into it, all these survivability mechanisms, it takes a long time to survive the test of time. To be, yeah, I mean, it just takes time. Time is a big subject, and time is the kind of the illusionary element in the universe, as what's really happening is, the quanta, the substance of the universe, the stuff moving at the speed of light, merely travels. And as it travels, the implication of the distance it creates is time. So I could argue that distance is time, and that time doesn't really exist as anything but a byproduct of things moving, and the fact that it takes them time to move. Yeah. And when they don't move in a straight line, especially, that's when things get a little bit wacky. Anyway. Yeah, that's probably enough. So I probably should make a physics page, go back to the old draft science, maybe a draft science category on Vloggerdome just for the fun of it. And this won't be in that category, but I guess it could be. Anyway, some of these physics subjects are interesting, and I think I would like to talk about them. So I'll see what I do. Forgot my gloves again. Yep, way to go. Yeah, I'm just so smart lately. Anyway, I think it's enough. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's just I won't make this into a complaining video. Well, I already did some complaining, so I already have made a complaining video. But yeah, I'm just not liking this much. This living thing is, yeah. Yeah, it just feels like some sort of forced march. So anyway, that's enough of the video. And such. See if this little camera did its job. A little bit of wind, so it might be fucked. But we'll see. Anyway. Till next time. Such.